Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick video review of the Army Painter color primers. I have a can here. The color I chose, I got this quite a while ago, was the green skin color primer when it came out. Yeah. So when it came out, I thought, great, I'll be able to paint my entire Forest Brethren army like that really quickly. Um, all in all, I think it's a great primer. Um, but there are a few problems with it, which I'll get into in a bit. It's good size can, 400 ml, so you're going to be able to paint 1,000 points fairly easily using it. This is my second can actually. It's mostly full, and I've only painted, primed about 500 points worth, so a Dreadnought and some Terminators, and that's about it. Yeah, good size can. It does a fairly even coat, fairly thin coat. It's not going to destroy any of your detail or anything. But there is one major problem that I seem to be having. You can post comments, video sponsors, whatever, because I'd be interested to know whether anybody else is having this problem with it. When I started out with this colour primer, and it's been great on my minis. And great for painting vehicles, like priming them. When I got to my Rhino and primed that with the green skin colour primer and painted all over all the details and did everything, washed it, highlighted it, over brushed it, then highlighted it and everything. Yeah, it was great. Paint all stick to it fine, but when it came to putting my Rhino in my case, I have a custom cut KR multi case. Thoroughly recommend them if you're gonna think of getting custom cut cases. Yeah, so I put my Rhino in my custom cut case, and actually the rubbing from the foam itself, even just soft foam, actually caused the bulk metal and some of the colours, because my colour scheme is green and dark grey mostly, and the dark grey on the doors has started to come off. It rubs off fairly easily, and so does the bulk metal. So every now and again I'm having to, like every a month or so, I'm having to paint over all of the rubbed off bits of paint, which I find quite annoying. It's alright on my little models, so like Marines, they're all fine, it's not coming off them, or it's not affecting anything. But yeah, it seems to be a bit of a problem with my vehicles, being that they're bigger and heavier, and the friction on various parts will cause the paint to come off. I think I've thought about it for a little while, and I think I know why this is happening. Army Painter Colour Primer, I think, is made for use with quick shade dips. If you don't know what the Army Painter is, it's a fast way of painting your army. Fast system. You spray it with a colour primer rather than spraying it with black primer, and you then paint on your colours. So if you were spray painting an ultramarine or something, you'd spray paint it blue. You'd do it over the gold. Over the bolt gun, you do like maybe a dark grey on the bolt gun casing, and then bolt gun metal everywhere you need it, and do all the details and everything. Then you then take the model, you dip it in the quick shade, and then you flick off most of the quick shade, and basically that shades your entire model and makes your model look like it's been hand painted. Then you go over it with clear coat varnish to make the shiny quick shade dip, so that it's matte, so it looks like it's been hand painted, because you don't have bright, super shiny models when you have them on the table generally. Not many people like that. Okay, so what the quick shade dip is it's effectively very similar to the stuff you use for furniture. So it's a pot of varnish. If you don't know, it comes in like a 400 milliliter tub, and I haven't used it myself because I think it's quite expensive for just shading. I've just used my own shading techniques with washes, and basically it's a varnish, so, and it's got pigment in it. So what happens is varnish is very different to paint in that it's completely clear, and basically when it dries, it forms a solid plastic layer over your mini. So it's like a clear, solid layer of plastic. What I think is happening is that quick shade, actually when it dries, it forms a hard protective layer over your colours that you've painted on. So so it's protecting and holding the colours that you painted on, not the primer. It's holding it on so that it doesn't rub off the primer. Yeah, that's anyway why I think that happens. The reason you use colour primer, like, I don't know, Games Workshop Chaos Black if you use it, or whatever you use, there's loads of primers out there. Quite a lot of them are cheaper than Games Workshop stuff. But that's another topic entirely. The reason you use primers is that when you spray your mini, it forms a layer, a thin layer, that attaches into the whatever you're painting, the metal or the plastic, and bites into it, so it forms like a hard, tough coat that's actually bonded into the material that you're painting. Then that provides you with a medium that your paints, when you paint over the top of it, your paints will stick to them, so they won't come off, they won't rub off. And because Army Painter Primer, it's a colour primer, and it's formulated for use, I think, with the Army Painter Quick Shade Dip. So when you use it, you're supposed to be protecting your paints that you've put over the top of the primer, rather than you don't need to protect your minis if you're using Chaos Black spray, for instance. You don't need to protect them because the paints are specifically formulated so that they will stick really well to the primer. And when you combine the Army Painter and Citadel miniature paints, they don't bond into each other very well, and you get problems where your paint is rubbing off, especially in my Rhino. As I said, it doesn't happen with my Marines, but it is happening with my Rhino, and I'm trying to find a solution to that at the moment. I think the route of some sort of varnish is going to have to come out, because, or like something similar to Games Workshop's Art Coat, to protect my paints from just rubbing off at the slightest bit of friction. So post comments, post video responses, because I'd really like to know if anybody else is having this problem with them. Yeah, and if you've found a solution to the problem, more importantly, I'd like to know, because it's kind of annoying having to repaint all the colours on your vehicles every couple of months or so. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.